What is up, guys? It's Megadan29, and I wanted to come at you immediately here because I was listening to Canadian Gamer's video, and it was really good. It's his latest video at the time here. It might be by the time I upload it too, probably. But I was talking about speedruns.com and how there's problems within it and stuff like that, which is so true. I mean, we've talked about it before, and I know he's talked to like Alpha Nerd about it and stuff. And I could tell you a little bit about my adventure with it and why I don't do it. So first of all, I'm not really into speedruns. That's first and foremost. But there were a few games on there that I was like, okay, that Alpha Nerd told me about. One of them being Blades of Steel, that I was like, okay, I wouldn't mind freaking playing that. What's the challenge? And the challenge was to be the first person to score 10 goals. You know, you got to do it as fast as possible. So I did it, and I did it. I worked on it one night. And I'm pretty sure I have second place. I'm not 100% sure. It's really close, but I think I got it. If not, it's for sure third place. And I was like, man, what do you got to do to get the first place guy? Because the first place guy beat us by like a lot. And I was like, wow, what the heck, man? And so that's a pretty big gap. And in speed runs, you know, even a second or two is kind of a lot. You know what I mean? This guy's like 14, 20 seconds or something like that. So, So yeah, I went there, I checked it out, and what they have on speedruns.com is they have this thing where you can click on their video and it goes to their link and you can watch how they did it. So I watched it and I noticed that the guy had missed no face-offs, and I was thinking, wow, in all my years of playing Blades of Steel, I don't think I've ever had a game where I've won every face-off. But you do play on like rookie or whatever, beginner, so I was like, okay, maybe. So I went and I just focused on winning every face-off for a little bit. And I'm like, man, I really don't think you can do this. Like, maybe you can, but the margin for error is like, wow. There is just some face-offs they are so favored to win. And so I'm like, man, this is really rough. Second place lost face-offs. Third place lost face-offs. They look like very normal runs. And also something that was very suspect about the first place run was no camera. Not just screen capture. Didn't show what they were using. Don't show the version they're using. Don't know a controller. Don't talk. Nothing, dude. Can't hear buttons clicking. Just nothing, dude. Nothing. So I'm just like, you know, maybe the European version or the Japanese version, maybe you can win every face-off. I don't know. Haven't played with them. Definitely matters. If you think, oh, it doesn't matter, yes, it does. Yes, it does. There can be little distinct differences in each game. So speedruns.com doesn't even check that. They don't even check that. They don't check for emulators. They don't check anything, dude. It's pretty garbage, in my opinion. But, and I'm not discrediting anybody like Alpha Nerd who has had a bunch of records on there. It's cool that you're doing it. But that made me, like, not want to play. So I was talking to Alpha Nerd about it, and I was like, bro, I haven't had one game that I've won all the face-offs. I've been just focusing on that. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think so. And then I started trying stuff that I was like, let me try a freaking turbo controller. Doesn't work. Turbo controller still lost face-offs. I'm like, lost quite a few, actually. So then Alpha Nerd had a really good idea. He's like, well, why don't you use like an NES Classic or something like that and use save states, and after every time you score a goal, just start going back and loading it up and seeing if you can win. So I was able to do it that way. But in the meantime, between the 10 goals, I lost like 20 face-offs maybe. Maybe not that many, but close to it, like maybe 15, 16. So I'm like, man, you can do it, I guess, but holy moly, it's really tough to do, you know. It's damn near impossible, you know. So what you're saying you have to do to beat the world record is, first of all, if you don't win all the face-offs, you can't do it, period. If you don't win the face-off, there'll be too much time you took up to get the puck back. Can't beat it. Zero chance. So then when you do every face-off, then you have to score immediately, because that's what he did. Immediately, dude. I mean, there was no him getting checked and almost losing it. There was no missed shots. There was nothing. Immediately. And I'm just like, man, I guess it can be done, but holy crap. Like, that is almost impossible to beat his time. Like, holy shit. You know, that is going to be so dumb that, man, are you sure he wasn't using tool assistant stuff? And it's like, man, there's just a lot of questions there, you know? And that's just my problem with speedruns.com is you don't know. It's the unknowing. So now Master System Marceau, Canadian Gamer, and Alpha Nerd have been catching some guys. If you go watch his video, you'll see where he's talking about Chase HQ. And they caught a guy, I think it's that game, where basically he's cheating. And again, it was the same sort of thing. They would all try their very best to get these good times, and the world record guy's just so far ahead. It's just, he's minutes and minutes ahead, which is a ton in speedruns, dude. Trying to shave off 3 or 4 minutes, dude, that's a ton, man. That's insane. Usually speedrunners, when they're trying to beat a record that they're pretty good at, they're trying to shave off 5 seconds. You know what I mean? So maybe 10 seconds, right? But this was minutes. So it's insane. Insane, man. So then they go to the guy's video and they watch it just like I did or whatever, and they notice that in the comments they're talking about a lot of tool assistant stuff. They're talking about this guy's in a tool assistant forum. A lot of really suspect stuff, man. That's like, why would you even be talking about that? You know? It was in Russian or something like that, so they couldn't tell everything they were saying, but they kept seeing TAS, which is Tool Assistant System or whatever. So it's like, oh, that's pretty suspect. And that's the kind of crap I'm talking about, where that's why I don't play. It's just not worth my time, you know? And if you think that, well, why would people cheat at video games? People cheat all the time at everything, but especially video games. These little nerds want to have all these freaking world records on their freaking their profile, so they think it'll get them somewhere. And so would they cheat? Abso-freaking-lutely they would cheat. So anyway, it's a really good video. Go watch it. But that's the way I think it should run. I'll go into that now. What I think how it should run. Dude, using emulation, fine. It's fine. You can use emulation. But that should be a different bracket, though. That's a different leaderboard. It's not the same. You should have to use, okay, is this OG hardware? Then why are you using a keyboard? Then why are you using a Super Nintendo controller on an NES? I mean, I know that's pretty comparable, but still, it matters, though. If you want things to be equally competitive and you want the honest, this is what it is, you have to make sure everybody's using the same thing. How do you know on an emulator that he's not using European version or he's using the Japanese version or anything else? Like, how do you know? I mean, there's Brazilian versions of games. So how do you know what he's using? Alpha Nerd accidentally once was playing Super G&G, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and he was playing on the European version unknowingly. And he killed the end boss in like 3 or 4 hits or something like that. And I knew that wasn't right. So I was watching him play and I'm like, damn, dude, this is a really tough fight. No, that doesn't make any sense what you just did. You literally can't do that. You know what I mean? So he found out, oh, it's the European version. So he went back and he played the US version. And yes, it was a little bit different. And so that's what I'm saying is on these racing games and stuff, you don't know if on the European version there's a little bit more cushion for him to go through cars, to go through obstacles and things like that. Maybe the Famicom version's a little bit easier. There's definitely versions that are harder and easier. And they look like the same game, but they're different. They're different. Just like, don't they say Castlevania 3 on Famicom, you take less damage when you get hit? I mean, there's a lot of built-in things like that where the game looks the same, controls the same, but it's different. It is. So if you're going to be doing speedrun competition stuff, everybody's got to be on the equal playing ground. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless. It's kind of pointless, man. You're over here, like Canadian Gamer made the remark that this guy's using a keyboard, and a keyboard he's being able to pull things off that you cannot do with a controller. So it's exactly what I'm saying, is you're at a different advantage, you know, or disadvantage with a regular controller. You have to make sure everybody's using the same thing. Like when you go to a gaming convention and they have a tournament going on, they don't have one guy is walking up using a keyboard and another guy's using the OG Genesis controller. No, bro. They all got to use the same shit. You know what I mean? On the same system, the same game. And that's a legitimate competition. But it's just, that's why it's dumb. That's why I don't like it. That's why I'll never do it. And I'm not big on online competitive things because this is what people do. They cheat. And so, geez, my kid's getting off the bus. But anyway, I wanted to make a quick video just saying my thoughts on emulation, my thoughts on a lot of that speedrun stuff. And hey, say what you want about Twin Galaxies, but I heard you have to like record yourself putting the game in the system, and you have to show the controller, you have to point it at the CRT. Like, you should have to do that. If you want it to be legitimate, that's the only way to be. You have to do that. So if you're playing a different way, I'm sorry, but you're kind of disqualified, in my opinion, if I was running it. Because now you have people like Master System Marcel or Alpha Nerd turning in flags for these things, and then they're deleting their world records. Yeah, because they're sniffing it out, and they're going, oh, yeah, you got a point. But see, here's the thing, speedrun.com. You should have caught that first. But you're just passing this stuff, man. Like I said, bro, I could do Blades of Steel, and I could edit a video, and I could use save states, and I could just record just the screen, and I could do all 10 goals, and I could put them together. I could take the whole video, cut it at perfect times where you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know that I cut it. And it would all look legit. Then I could put an overlay over it of my camera and my normal setup, and I could react to it like I'm playing. I could click the buttons. I could be holding the NES controller. I could be doing all kinds of stuff. And so, you know, I could cheat that totally. I almost did it. I told Alpha Nerd this. I almost did it to prove a point that I could get it past. So anyway, little Nathan's home. But, hold on, give me a minute, buddy. But, I almost did that to prove a point that they don't check good enough. But I think the fact that you're catching stuff and they're deleting it and they're changing it is proving that they're not checking, dude. They're just sending this stuff through. Well, if it's just some stupid website where they're just half-ass checking, then what's the point? Then why are you even doing it? You know what I mean? Like, at that point, that's not worth my time. It's not worth my time. I'd rather just keep doing what I'm doing, you know? And that is why I don't do it. That's why I quit doing it. I tried once, and I was like, nope, this is exactly the shit I'm talking about. First game I try, I see suspect stuff. And I was like, I even asked myself, like, am I being kind of a baby here? Am I just like, this guy's just a lot better? But no, they were legitimate questions. And it was like, so what you're telling me is in Blades of Steel, this guy, because he claims, I guess Alpha Nerd talked to him, oh, it's really hard to win every face-off. It's really hard. You got to time it perfectly. Oh, man, I tried forever. Okay, so it's super hard to do. Fair enough. But then when you're saying, okay, so you finally put all 10 together, which would be really hard. That would take literally, I would say, 100 attempts to probably put them all together. So then you're saying, not only did you put them all together, but then you scored perfectly every time, man. You didn't miss a shot. You didn't get the puck stolen from you. You didn't get in a fight or something like that. Nothing. You just perfectly went up court, frickin' scored, boom, good. All 10 times. Just perfect. Flawless, man. And I'm like, I could use save states and I'd have trouble beating that record. So that makes me sniff out tool assisted. I bet you it's fucking tool assisted. So that is my thoughts on that. I'm going to go hang out with him. He's probably wanting to play some Cuphead. But I wanted to come at you guys. Hot take right now. I don't want to lose anything I was going to say. Really good video by Canadian Gamer. Definitely go check it out. But that is my thoughts on that. I would say stay away from that website. It's very poor. And do Twin Galaxies. Try that. That's what I would say. At least there you have to record everything. And no, I'm not discrediting anything that Alpha Nerd's been doing or Master System or so or Canadian Gamer. If you want to do it for fun, it's just there's always suspect stuff. You know, if you're beating it, I know you're legitimately doing it because I know you. But there's just, I won't even play that game because I just know that there's cheaters. You know, I'm good on that, man. I'd rather just do my no death runs and play my games and have fun, and I'm playing against a game, you know, that I know is this way, you know. People, when you start getting other humans involved, people get really dumb and competitive, and they just got to cheat. We caught a guy, I won't name him. There was a guy in the community, real quick, like 3 years ago, that we caught uploading fake no-death runs, dude. He was uploading other people's no-death runs and acting like it was his. So we were literally finding the video that he did, and we were releasing videos of them side by side. They'd have the same high score, jump across the same things at the same time, and he finally admits it, dude. The guy was lying for like the first 3 or 4 times he was caught. And he finally, okay, fine, I did it. I'm sorry or whatever. It's like, you're pathetic, dude. you're lying about doing no death runs. Like it's going to get you somewhere. Does it get me anywhere? Does anybody give a fuck about Megadan 29? No. You have to do it for fun. Nobody cares about gameplay. Nobody cares about your no death runs. Nobody cares. You just have to do it because you want to do it and because you're having fun doing it. And that's the nature of the beast. So why would you cheat? But that just goes to show you how stupid people can be. So if you think people on speedruns.com aren't cheating, you are completely 110% wrong. So anyways, I got to go play with him. Cuphead time. Let's go.